Hey guys, so I just wanted to get on here tonight with something really informal. Just wanted to encourage you guys. I know that I have shared quite a bit, and very honestly, I really value truth and transparency and vulnerability. And I talked about how much I struggled following the sudden death of my daughter. And I just wanted to say that I was honest about where I was at, but thank God that He did not leave me there. And I wanted to elaborate on that a little bit just so you guys know that I really am okay. And I share those things because that really was what I went through and my experience. And I just, of course, want to be really honest about that, but also what God has done in my life since. And I now have over 8 months of sobriety. It's not even something I think about every day. It's a part of my life now, where before I was at the point where I couldn't imagine living without alcohol. It was pretty bad. And alcoholism runs in my family, actually. Um, but you know what? God is our healer. He is the curse breaker, and that's what He did in my life and in my mom's life today. I mean, not today, but I was thinking about that quite a bit today. I met up with my mom at the mall, and we love to just walk around and have fun. Neither one of us are huge shoppers. It's just a fun place to meet up, and we're just so close. And she's such a blessing in my life. I love her so much. And she is really the first person who introduced me to Jesus as a little girl and put that true love of and knowledge in my heart when I was just a little kid. And I thanked her for that today. I was like, Mom, you planted those seeds and you brought me to the feet of Jesus. And I know that you made a lot of mistakes, and my mom carries a lot of guilt because the enemy really got to her, and she was a very heavy drinker and made a lot of mistakes. And I remember as a young believer myself, when I was around 20, I started praying for her, and I felt like it was hopeless at the time. But I said, God, I just want a relationship with my mom. Can you help her get sober? And just it feels like a lost hope, but I'm just gonna pray anyways. And he did. He answered the prayer. My mom got sober, and our relationship was totally healed and restored. And now we are just so close, and she is such a blessing to me. And I just love spending time with her. And Mom, if you're listening, I love you so much. And Jeff, my stepdad, you guys are amazing and so encouraging and just such a blessing. And guys, I just want to say, God, He's just so good. He really is. And when I just look back at how much healing He's brought in my life from, you know, after losing my daughter until now, it's just been a steady progression. And I'm like, wow. I remember, when I first got into even just rapture watching, I was so desperate. I was just desperate. I felt like I needed to get out of here. I felt like I couldn't go on anymore. I was just in that state. My little girl, we were extremely close. And honestly, all of my adult life, all I really wanted was my own little girl. And then I got Shiloh, and she was so special to me. She was this sweet bubbly, effervescent, kind, just a little twinkle of magic. Like she was just a little ball of joy, a ball of sunshine, and she meant so much to me. And she was my treasure. And when I lost her, I was completely broken, and I felt empty inside, and just like I had fallen into this nightmare. And you can imagine it was so bad. Um, One of the greatest gifts we can get in life is love. This feeling that we treasure, it's like a little light in our heart that we nurture and we protect against the elements, right? It's love. It's why we get out of bed every morning. Otherwise, why are we here? And I loved her with my whole heart. And when you love someone with your whole heart, it's such a beautiful thing, but it makes you terribly vulnerable. If you lose that person, you're shattered. And I was, and I went through, a really messy process, but God never left my side, and He kept, just picking me back up off the floor again and again. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, I look forward to the rapture now in a completely different way. I'm surrounded by the peace of God, and I know even if the rapture didn't happen, I would still be okay. I would serve Him. I would seek Him. I could just envelop myself in His presence, and I know that He would have other things for me. But I do really think the rapture is so close, guys. I know September, our hopes are very high, and a lot of things are coming together. The Feast of Trumpets, obviously, the end of a Shemitah cycle. Other things that I'm just not thinking about at the moment. I'm a little bit tired. It's nighttime here, guys, and it's been a long day for me. Just a lot of thoughts and emotions, mostly good. But I just wanted to get on here and encourage you guys of just, the fact that God is so wonderful and He's never done with us. And He is our healer. And I just look back and just through me seeking Him, or even just the times that He carried me, He's been slowly healing me along this path. And I know that process will continue and find its completion when I do get to heaven, right? Like, I just cannot wait to splash in the river of life, eat from the tree of life, and experience what it means to be completely whole and completely at peace, with no more fear, no more insecurity, anxiety. The pressures of time and life will just be completely free. And I look forward to that, but I don't need it in the desperate way that I did before. And now I can just appreciate each day so much before, when I was living with so much desperation. So I did just want to share that, guys, that, God, He's just always working on us, right? We always have so much more room to grow and whatever. And, just don't get discouraged, because He loves us right where we're at, and He loves us too much to let us stay there. But we know that He's so close to us. He's close. He's near to the brokenhearted. And, I've just especially been feeling Him so close. I've been feeling just so much of a sense of hope. Like I can feel eternity in my heart. I can almost Like the veil, the spiritual veil feels so thin, I can almost just see through it. And it's just, wherever we are, we're existing to exist with him. Like in him, we live and we move and we have our being. It's just so beautiful to me. Like we have the breath of life in us. We have the Spirit of God in us, and we can experience this communion with God even here. Even here, we can get little bits of heaven in our spirit to sustain us until we get the whole enchilada. And we're going to be reunited, and it's going to be amazing. And I was thinking about how there's so many little events in our lives that seem almost maybe meaningless or trivial at the time, but we can look back and be like, wow, like all along, God, all these dots connect, right? And it's painting a picture. And I've come to find so much peace with what happened with Shiloh through keeping my eyes on Jesus and seeking him. And one thing that I was just thinking about was the weekend before she passed. She spent it with my mom and my stepdad, Jeff. And at one point they had got her a balloon. And as so often happens, she accidentally let go of this balloon and it started flying up into the sky. And Jeff saw like her face just like, crumple, and he said to her, or maybe she said it to him, I can't remember, but I think he was worried and bracing for her to get upset and start crying because she lost her balloon, but she said, it's okay, it'll be waiting for me in heaven. And then another little incident that just came to my mind was that at a certain point, like, I like telling my kids stories about my childhood, and I had told them about a couple of cats I had when I was a really little girl, like 5, 6, 7. We had a female cat named Jewel, and we had kept one of her offspring, a male cat named King, but we all called him King Bada Bing. And you know that you remember these things from your childhood, and I had told Shiloh about it years ago, and then that winter that she passed away, she out of the blue just was asking me about my pets from my childhood. And she remembered Jewel and King Bada Bing, and I was just kind of touched. I was like, well, I told you that when you were really little, like, 4 or 5, and she remembered. But I'm like, it's God just bringing everything together. Like, I really believe that all of our beloved pets that we've had that have, passed away, that I really think that we're going to see them in heaven. Obviously, relatives and loved ones that were believers are going to be there, and it's just going to be such an amazing reunion. And I do just feel such a peace about it that I didn't even think would have been possible a couple years ago. And it, brings to mind that scripture where Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were facing the fiery furnace. And the king had told them, if you don't bow down and worship the statue, you're going to be cast in. And they were like, no, we're never going to bow down. And our God is able to save us. But even if he doesn't, we will not bow down and worship that abomination. And guys, we have the Spirit of Christ in us. We know that he said he would not leave us here as orphans. He will come back for us. He's coming back so soon. And we know that so many of us have been tested beyond what we could have imagined at the beginning. But because of the Spirit of Christ in us, we are still here, we are still in the game, we are still standing. And we have so much glory awaiting us right on the other side. And I can just feel it in my spirit. I just get goosebumps. We have so much to look forward to. Your faith has not been in vain. You know, it's just wonders beyond what we can even imagine. And I'm excited, and just wanted to get out here and encourage you guys and say, keep looking up, don't lose hope, and your King is coming soon. Bye, guys.